What's going on, world? It's your boy Gemini Brown here, back with another episode of Nalo Kicking Knowledge. So, upon a few requests, I'm going to give some astrological insight into the situation regarding Will and Jada Smith and the young boy, August Alsina. So if you need some background, which I'm sure you don't, because I got a couple of requests to do this. If you don't know, August Alsina had came out and made allegations that him and Jada had an affair together. But originally when he made these comments, it was just that, an affair. Then after, some backlash and I guess people feeling like he wasn't necessarily being honest or there being a little bit of confusion regarding the situation, he comes back and recently does an interview with Angela Yee in which he gives more insight into it and says that he actually had the blessing of Will Smith to go into this relationship with Jada because they were transitioning from a marriage to a life partnership. In other words, it sounds like Will and Jada were having an open marriage, which has been a rumor for years. So basically what I'm just here to do is to use astrological insight to see whether or not this is something that these people would partake in. What do their energies say? Okay, so this is less about August Alsina and more kind of about Will and Jada, because these are the people within the marriage, because people have affairs all the time, but in the sense of, did Will know about this? Is it possible that they've been having an open marriage and sleeping with others for years? Let's take a look at it. So, Will is a Libra sun, Scorpio moon, Venus in Libra conjunct Mercury at the 29th degree, might I add. And then we have Jada. Jada is a double Virgo with also a Venus in Libra conjunct Pluto. And Will's a Mars in Virgo. Jada's a Mars in Aquarius. Now, the first thing that jumped out to me while I was reviewing these energies are the presence of Uranus within both of their charts. And when it comes to open relationship, polyamory, non-conventional things, Uranus is the key contributor, major factor. So what we see here is that Jada has a Mars in Aquarius conjunct the North Node in Aquarius, which is in trine to Uranus in Libra. All right, so we can look at this a couple different ways. Just in the sense of Mars in Aquarius, this person is attracted towards the non-conventional. They are motivated towards rebelling, doing what is not expected of them, and also being experimental. Then when you add her Virgo energy into this, which is ruled by Mercury, the king of curiosity, it would only make sense that this person would want to explore different facets of, their sexuality, as well as, group dynamics in general. Then the icing on the cake here for me in regards to Jada is her sun conjuncts Pluto and her Pluto conjuncts Venus very tightly. So, if anyone knows anybody out there with Venus conjunct Pluto, this is an intense person. This is a person who, they want to explore every facet of their relationship with deep intensity, passion. And when Venus and Pluto get together, the opportunity to explore outside of the relationship is always going to be there, as Pluto denotes secret activity, things we may not necessarily know, all right? Affairs and things to that extent. So if we don't take anything away from this, I would definitely say, and here's the underrated thing, Virgo is one of the most sexual signs in the zodiac, all right? Don't let the innocence or the face value, what you see at face value, fool you. They have Leo in the 12th, Aries in the 8th. They're sexually aggressive, okay? So with her sun being conjunct Pluto, there is a deep sexual nature here. And then with the Mars and Aquarius conjunct the North Node, I would even go as far as say there's a particular, maybe even fetish, all right? Now, I'm not here to say this is what their fetish is, but I'm just letting you know this is a sexually curious person. So going back to Mars conjunct the North Node, trine Uranus, these trines are free-flowing aspects. So the person would be able to balance multiple partnerships at one time, okay? And honestly, with the Venus conjunct Pluto, they would need it as an outlet for their overall intensity, okay? Like, Venus conjunct Pluto is such an intense individual that one partner may not really be able to suffice, all right? Now, let's get to Will. Will also has a very prominent Uranus in his chart. His Uranus is conjunct his sun, and with the ascendant that is given online, it puts his sun and his Uranus in the 5th house, which, makes sense for Will Smith being Will Smith. And this just shows that, one, the person would attract people who are very Uranian, rebellious, humanitarian, everything Jada is, and also explorative within that. Then it also shows that this person needs a particular level of detachment or freedom within partnerships. Then this is where you have to really evaluate who the individual is. This is Will Smith. He's been buco famous since the mid 80s. Regarded as one of the most beautiful people in this world, right? Would he really be, faithful or able to keep it in his pants for just one person for all this time? And then we have to really just evaluate the relationship they have with one another. I think it would make much sense that they could come to this particular type of agreement. Now, like I said, that's Will's signature. He's a Uranian person, curious, explorative, just as his wife is. Now, let's look at the midpoints that their planets make together. We take Will's sun and Jada's sun, it creates a midpoint right on their composite sun would be right on Will's Uranus, okay? Which shows a large portion of why they are a power couple, why they raise their children. They're all about freedom. They're all about progressive movement and thinking outside of the box and being different, okay? So that's that. Then we could even go ahead and explore their other midpoints between their moon and their Venus, which all lands within the sign of Libra, which I believe, Libra is about the relationship itself. So one thing we can denote is that both these individuals take great pride in the relationship. It is very much so been infused to their identity, okay? And if you go ahead and reference old interviews that they've done, they've said, or Jada specifically has said, this is her Venus Pluto. If you marry me, we in this to the end. Even if I'm on one side of the house with someone and you're on the next side of the house with someone, we're in it together. So all in all, my final thoughts about this is that, one, I'm not here to judge them. If they want to have an open relationship, more power to them, because, you know, it's a particular understanding that they have. And I think that, you know, we're headed towards a place collectively, Age of Aquarius, where the unconventional is gonna become more common, and we're heading away from, you know, major judgment. Secondly, you know, they've had a successful and lengthy marriage with ups and downs, and they've still managed to maintain a understanding or a love for one another, where it's like, okay, we went through shit, but I'm not letting you go. And I think that within itself is beautiful. So I'm not here to cast judgment on them. I think it's dope. I think they're two dope ass people. I appreciate them as souls in this world. And yeah, I'll probably do a part 2, because the aspects with August and Jada's chart is interesting, and he was really he doesn't have that same Uranian signature of detachment. And yeah, I think that was pretty clear. So y'all, this is my interpretation of this particular situation. Feel free, chime in, let me know what you're thinking, your astro insights. Until next time, peace.